Today, we become legends.
Hey, my name's Inter, welcome back to the channel, and we're getting our first look at the Season of Celebration. Smite's final season for Year 10. Should be some pretty huge changes coming. We've got a closer look post here to go over, which is going to provide us some insight into like roughly what's going to be coming, some new mechanics and stuff like that. I've not given it a read through yet, this is going to be my first initial impressions, but this is usually how the closer look posts go. They give you like a general, like high level overview of what's going to be going on. They don't really get into the minor details. Patch notes will be tomorrow, and I'll be making videos on that as well. So if you're new here and you're looking for the news, I'd try and get it covered as fast as I possibly can, and so I'll be putting out videos on the patch notes tomorrow as well, so be sure to subscribe for that. But yeah, let's just jump right in. Should be pretty cool. Season of Celebration. It seems like the game is going to be getting a little bit more vibrant, which is nice, you know, after the Season of Souls, very dark map, very dark themes in general, and I am down for that, but also it's nice to also have the game be quite bright sometimes, so seems like we're kind of going a little bit back to that with this Season of Celebration. So the sands of time come for men and gods alike as we enter into yet another season of Year 10, the Season of Celebration. This update raises the gods out of the underworld and into the light once again, with visual changes to the Conquest map and new exciting gameplay choices, so hopefully some new mechanics maybe for Conquest or for the game in general. They tried that with the Season of Souls, and I think overall was mostly a success. Unleashed Titans are kind of cool. Beacon is really good in my opinion, and they removed the Soul Surges obviously, so the one bad mechanic they introduced is gone already, so hopefully we can get some new stuff. So strife, anguish, war, hope, light, peace. The cycle ever manifests, and while the mortals constantly find themselves caught between the plans of deities, they also know the need for reprieve, for solace and remembrance. The time for celebration is more aptly the time to honor the dead and to gather strength once again, with the gods to charge forward once more. The Conquest map is lifted out of the underworld and into the light, revealing it with new gameplay mechanics in the form of shaman jungle camps and spirit totems. So we saw a little bit of this on Twitter. They posted some like food items, and they also posted 4 different like totems. So we'll probably get a little bit more insight further down here on what those are actually going to be. Change is a coin with 2 faces, and our new Fire Giant has not been content, establishing a new layout to hunt in. Oh, interesting, so a redesign of the Fire Giant pit, it seems. The fight of the Titans has proven to be unrelenting, and now if the battle goes on long enough, they will clash again. Good to see. You know, Unleashed Titans, they probably happen too early in the game a lot of the time, to where it's not really a chance to ever end the game. It's just like a chance to maybe force a fight and push your lead, or maybe something like that. So it sounds like Titans will be able to unleash at least once more, maybe even infinitely, you know, as long as some mechanic is met or something like that. During matches, players will be able to obtain brand new items in the form of recipes, and finally, several gods are getting some exciting new twists to their gameplay. Oh, interesting. I wonder if that means a couple of minor reworks. That would be very cool. And yeah, these recipes, they did post some food items on Twitter, so it seems like maybe those foods will be actual items. And then maybe the totems are something to do with these jungle camps, or like their consumables or something like that. So a quick reminder on how we define our goals for a new season launch update. So significant Conquest changes. Going to be new environment art features, which we'll get to in a second. They've also posted a GIF on Twitter of what the new map's going to look like. Looks very cool in my opinion. Jungle path and lane shape changes, new mechanics and objectives. Significant general gameplay balance, so an overarching theme on new mechanic, many items and gods adjusted, and new items / glyphs. Oh, interesting. So if we see some new glyphs, that'd be very cool in my opinion. Kick off a big Smite event, new battle pass, and ranked soft reset and new split, which I will definitely be grinding for. It should be very cool. Since I've started streaming now, we're going to be pushing for Masters as quick as possible on the new split, so definitely go follow me over on Twitch if you haven't already. We'll be streaming the ranked grind over there. So as a reminder, this is the first update in the Season of Celebration. There are always more gameplay features and surprises along the way. The dead have been restless after the Season of Souls, and their protector has yet to arrive. So yeah, this is going to be, I believe, the longest season we've had so far in the year. Because this is 10.9, and then it's going to go to at least 10.12, so that would be 4 patches. But also, there's been data mining that there might be a patch 10.13 towards the end of the year where we might be getting another new god in addition to Mount Brigitte, like later in the year. That's not confirmed yet, that's just data mining, but it's possible this update is going to be, this season is going to be 5 updates, but it's minimum going to be 4 updates, which is longer than any season we've had so far. So we've got some nice Conquest images here. This is what the map is going to look like. It looks absolutely incredible in my opinion. I love the like autumnal themes, or fall for you Americans. Really vibrant looking. Seems like maybe some texturing needs to be done on the floor there. That just looks like we're playing Splatoon or something. But yeah, it looks really good overall. I love the autumnal themes. It also looks very closed in. It looks like these trees are going to be covering like a big like canopy over like a lot of the jungle maybe, and so that'll be really cool, make the jungle feel a little more closed in and claustrophobic. I always like when the jungle's like that. Really adds to like the atmosphere of it, and also allows for different gameplay tactics and stuff like that. We've got a little picture of, I think, what is the Chaos base there as well. This is, I assume, duo lane. Duo lane is usually the one that is a beach, although maybe they'd be switching up and make solo lane look nicer one. Solo lane always looks worse than duo lane, in my opinion. But this is most likely duo lane. That's usually how they do it. Like, duo lane is the brighter side with the beach, and then solo lane is the more dark side with, like, lava or whatever. Or, like, chasms. But this looks really sick, so they're bringing back some, like, totem themes and stuff, as they have with the new items. This looks really sick, in my opinion. Duo lane beach is back, boys. Very cool. Oh, so this is a new fire giant pit. That looks very interesting. Visually, that looks really good. In terms of gameplay, it seems more open in general, although it depends what is on, like, this side of the image, like, coming towards us. If that's a giant wall, then I guess it's really not more open, but if this is, like, replicated on the other side, that looks like a really, really open fire giant pit, which should make FG fights quite a lot more interesting in terms of potential steals and like just maneuverability around when you're fighting the fire giant and stuff like that. But yeah, visually looks awesome. So a new season brings a new art set and visual treatment to the Conquest map. A large encompassing willow tree graces the order base, while the skybox and lighting has been opened up to embrace the brighter and sunnier time of day. So yeah, in general, a brighter map. New themed totems and masks can be seen scattered throughout the map alongside brand new foliage and set dressing, as well as some interesting little surprises. So maybe some little Easter eggs we can find there. The fire giant pit and the surrounding area has been drastically changed with a new architecture-based overhaul to accentuate the openness of the new arena. So yeah, it seems like maybe on this side there will be like more gaps and stuff. So it seems like fire giant pit almost completely open aside from a few pillars that you could like hide behind and stuff like that. There will be brand new opportunities to engage and, well, flee if necessary with the change to the jungle layout. So yeah, a lot more open there. So shaman camps and spirit totems. These are new jungle camps and rewards that rotate with and temporarily replace the back harpy camp between the mid and solo lanes. So basically they made the duo lane side back camp into the chest camp. I assume that's staying. And now it seems like the solo side back camp, which currently has like nothing special about it basically, is going to potentially be a jungle totem camp, depending on some factors. Maybe it says temporarily replace the back harpy camp. Make sure to clear these to help your team gain new augments via the spirit totems. These augments can be chosen alongside the existing buff pickups and swapped when they're needed. Oh, okay, so if you have a buff, because they did reveal like different totems that seem to be themed around the colors of the buffs, and so maybe you can choose a different buff based on the buff that you pick up, and like, is that chosen in Fountain or something? Eventually, all Shaman leaders will be slain and all Spirit Totems empowered, which will see the return of the Harpies to the rest of the map. Right, so once you've farmed up, I guess, all of the different Shaman masks from the solo side back camps, it's going to return to being a normal camp. The Stygian Beacon and Unleashed Titans. Simply put, the loop restarts. Once the Clash of Titans has been resolved, the beacons will reignite after a period of time, heralding a second clash if the match goes long enough. Right, so whether or not that means this is infinite, or if it just goes twice, probably doesn't matter too much, given that, like, it's probably going to take another 15 to 20 minutes to get another round of Unleashed Titans. At that point, the game's gone, like, 40 minutes, and so, like, it would have to go basically 60 minutes to get a third round of that, which, you know, most games don't go 60 minutes, even in the current environment where games are going super long. So yeah, it seems like we're basically just going to be getting a second Clash of the Unleashed Titans, and also, I assume, you know, more beacons to capture, so there'll be more potential to stack up that buff. You know, in theory, you could get up to 6 beacons stacked on you at once, which is like 6% movement speed and like 18% bonus structure damage, I think, if I've got the numbers right in my head there. So yeah, that should hopefully help a little bit with the, like turtling and anti-snowball and stuff like that. If you get a second round of this, like at maybe 30 minutes, 35 minutes into the game or something like that, that could actually be like a real push to end if you get like an EFG and then this triggers or something like that, and you have like most of the beacon stacks as well. So new items, recipes, and dishes. A brand new type of item, not consumable. So yeah, we were thinking it might be a consumable based on the fact that it was food, but it seems like they're not going to be consumables. It's going to be a normal item tree. Aim to be picked up at the start of every match alongside starter items. Interesting. So kind of going a little bit back to the days where you had the masks when they were 500 gold, and like junglers will buy like a bluestone or a death toll along with Bumba's mask, and supports will buy like their standard starter alongside Lono's mask and stuff like that. That's kind of interesting. I did kind of like that mechanic where like you could choose to pick up one of the masks like alongside your starter item. I thought it made it quite interesting, especially for junglers. So it seems like they're going to be doing that, but on a larger scale, where like every role is going to have one of these kind of like early game masks, I guess, or like totems to pick up, which should be pretty interesting. Only one of the starting recipes can be obtained, and players will eventually cook their way to a final dish. Interesting. So it's going to eventually become a full item, kind of like starter items. These are just like another version of starter items. These items are meant to be fun and engaging ways to add depth to player builds without the permanence or added strength that has been shifted throughout the year. These are available in every mode mostly. So I assume like maybe Duel and Joust might not have them or something if it breaks the game. So there's Golden Gooseberry, Sturdy Stew, Bountiful Bow, Party Punch, and Durable Drumstick. So assumedly one for each role / class of gods. You know, probably the Durable Drumstick is for tanks. The Sturdy Stew might be for Guardians, etc. So eventually the spice of these dishes will fade and the leftovers can be tossed away in favor of finishing more standard item builds. Right, so they're not like starter items exactly because you're not looking to upgrade them in like the final thing and keep them in your build. It seems like they're going to start off weak and then maybe grow stronger throughout the course of the game, but then once you get to 6 items, you're going to want to sell it for a full item because it seems like it'll spoil, I guess, and you throw away the leftovers, get a normal item, but like throughout the game, these might change the way you play in addition to your starter items. So this is pretty interesting, dude. I like the look of this. We'll have to see, obviously, what kind of stats these are giving. Are they giving like unique effects? Are they just giving big stat bombs? How long are you realistically going to keep them in a game? There's a lot we still need to know about this because, again, it's just one of these closer look posts. It's a very high level overview, and we'll see a lot more about this in the patch notes tomorrow. But this seems really interesting. I do like the idea of this. This could be really cool, especially if they have like unique effects that genuinely change the way you play and if they cross roles and stuff like that. Because if you're just buying like the one that's assigned for your role and you don't really have any choice in the fact, it's kind of like how Blessings used to be, like Warrior's Blessing and stuff. Like, you just had to buy Warrior's Blessing, basically. You couldn't really afford to do anything else, and there was no other options, and that's why starter items are so good. There's 3 different options per role, and even some of them cross roles. You know, like Death's Toll is sometimes built on solo laners and stuff like that. So hopefully these all have really cool effects and can cross roll a little bit. You know, maybe you might want, like, the Guardian one on a Warrior in solo lane, or maybe you might want the Hunter one on a basic attack assassin in jungle or something like that. So hopefully these cross rolls a little bit, they have really cool effects, and they can bring a bit of variety to the like early to mid game, and then you sell them late game, so your build won't really change that much overall. But yeah, really cool. Excited to see how this shapes up in the patch notes tomorrow. And finally, gameplay features balance. The recipe items are not the only things that needed to be in the oven, so Hyra's a cooking, man. They're embracing it. They're embracing it. This season brings exciting updates to several gods alongside the more general balance pass. These are not reworks. Okay, kind of sad. I would like to see a few minor reworks for some gods, to be honest. But maybe that will come next season or something. Next year, I guess. And the severity of the updates does not change depending on the god, but the goal was to reinvigorate and potentially rediscover fun playstyle tweaks. So maybe just like all gods get a couple of extra effects, or like some damage buffs or whatever. One main aim was to focus on gods that were either problematic in specific ways or potentially just underutilized. Interesting. I mean, if they're a problematic god, I don't really want to just see them get more extra effects on their abilities. I would rather see them reworked, to be completely honest. So hopefully they're not going to like, you know, give Arachne like 7 extra stuns or whatever, just because she's doing bad right now. This is a little scary to me. I hope they don't just buff all of the like cringe gods that aren't really in the meta, and then they become OP and they are in the meta, because when the meta's just full of cringe gods, the game's not fun. So we'll have to see how this goes on the actual patch notes. As always, we'll continue addressing how these shifts play out throughout the week that follow, and we hope to make swift changes if necessary. The season of celebration is our time to set the final foundation for the rest of the current year as we start preparing for an entirely brand new year. The seasonal approach to the 10th year of Smite has been very exciting, and we hope players are having fun on the journey. We hope you all continue to enjoy and celebrate, as we are always thankful for having you with us. The gods ready themselves for the season of celebration and all that follows. Are you prepared? Absolutely. I'm ready for the patch notes tomorrow. It's going to be very cool. But yeah, that's all we got for the closer look post. So it seems like we're going to be getting completely new conquest map, well, not completely new, very much new like visuals for the conquest map, a few gameplay changes as well with the new shaman camps, the changed fire giant pit. We're also getting these new items with the dishes alongside your starter item that you purchase, and then they seem to upgrade throughout the game, and you'll sell them eventually when they like spoil. The shaman camps and spirit totems, you can unleash titans a second time, and significant god changes and stuff like that. So yeah, this seems really cool. I'm pretty excited for this. Most of these changes seem like they're going to be really great, but of course we will have to see on the patch notes tomorrow how like all the numbers are going to shake out and the specifics of things. You know, sometimes a mechanic can look really good and then you realize how it's implemented and it's terrible. Soul Surge is being a good example of that. And likewise in the other way, you know, sometimes a mechanic can seem like it's not going to be that great and it turns out to be really good. Unleashed Titan's probably a good example of that as well. I was kind of flipped on this. I thought Soul Surge is going to be really cool and Unleashed Titans are going to be really trash, and it turns out they're kind of the other way around. I kind of like Unleashed Titans. and soul searches were terrible and they got removed. So yeah, we'll have to see on the full patch notes how this is going to shape up, and I'll be putting videos out on that tomorrow when the patch notes drop, so be sure to subscribe. But yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts on the Season of Celebration down below, what we've seen so far, and I will catch you guys in another one later on. Have a great day, and peace out, you nerds.